As the movie starts, we see four friends sitting in a restaurant. There were three boys and one girl in their group. One of the boys was named Mike. They were talking to each other about how Halloween was coming, and Mike suggested, "Why don't we mistreat others? Like always, I will bully Jacob. I will torture him." In fact, Jacob was an innocent boy. Mike teased him every year. Hearing this plan, their female friend forbade them, saying, "You should not tease others like this. What is Jacob's fault that you tease him every year?" Mike replied, "Your question has your answer. We tease him every year, and now we are habitual of it. You don't know, it will be great fun to tease him." The girl also told her best friend, who was present in the group, "You will not do this." But when Mike didn't listen to her, she left. Then we see that Mike and his friends finished eating. They went to the manager to pay the bill. The manager asked them, "Halloween is coming. What are your plans for Halloween?" Mike told him, "We will torture a boy badly. We will have great fun." The manager also showed his interest and said, "I also want to see how you will torture him." Mike refused and said, "No, this is my and my friend's plan." The manager requested him, and at last Mike agreed to let him join in torturing Jacob. Now, let us know who Jacob was. He was a mentally challenged boy whose brain didn't work properly. He couldn't think much. He loved to eat candies, especially corn candy, which he used to carry in a pumpkin basket. He worked at a festival, and the owner of the festival asked him to work hard, saying, "Remember, don't do anything that could bring us shame." Then the owner said, "The show is about to start, so get ready." But as Jacob stepped outside, Mike and his friends were waiting for him. They started teasing him. Jacob, tired of bearing it all, pushed Mike into fence so that he couldn't harm him. Mike, however, became aggressive and started beating him badly. His friends joined in, and eventually Jacob died there. Mike's female friend witnessed it all, standing there secretly, feeling nervous. She thought, how could they take someone's life? Later, when Mike and his friends went home, they didn't regret killing Jacob. They justified it, saying, "It was Jacob's fault. We torture him every year, and he bears it. But this year, he pushed me to protect himself. So, can I be angry?" They were so cruel. On the other hand, the owner of the festival saw that someone had killed Jacob. He became furious, asking, "How could someone kill my worker?" He was a good-hearted man. He lifted Jacob's body and took him inside. He put a mask on Jacob's face and performed a ritual, summoning a spirit into Jacob's body. Jacob was revived to take revenge on his murderers. Meanwhile, Mike's female friend went to the town sheriff. She told him everything, who killed Jacob and how they did it. The sheriff listened and said, "Okay, I'll note it down, but I haven't received any report about it yet." When the sheriff later found out that his own son was involved, he couldn't believe it. "I'm the sheriff. How could my son do this?" he exclaimed. He went directly to the festival owner and asked, "Where is Jacob? What happened to him?" The owner replied, "You misunderstand. He's not dead. He was injured, and I sent him home to rest." Technically, Jacob's death couldn't be counted after what the owner did. The sheriff went to Jacob's house and knocked on the door, but when no one answered, he returned. Then we see Mike's female friend being visited by her best friend. He told her, the sheriff has investigated and found out that Jacob is still alive. Hearing this, she was relieved, saying, "Thank God he's alive." Later, the manager, who helped kill Jacob, was telling someone, "My Halloween was so good. I had a lot of fun for the very first time." Afterward, he went to the washroom and saw the pumpkin basket with corn candy inside. As he was about to eat it, Jacob appeared and killed him brutally by tearing open his belly. Jacob had taken revenge on one of his murderers. The sheriff arrived and started investigating. Corn candy was scattered everywhere. Upon further investigation, he found out that the manager had been part of the group that tortured Jacob. He began to suspect that Jacob had killed him. Mike's female friend and her best friend were also there. They told everything to Mike and his friends. Mike responded, "It's not possible for Jacob to murder someone. He has no courage. If he had courage, he would have saved himself, and maybe some enemy of the manager killed him. It's not necessary that it was Jacob." They all agreed with him that maybe it was just their imagination. But as they left the house of Mike's friend, he felt strange movements. When he moved forward, he also saw that pumpkin basket. He was surprised. How did it get there? Meanwhile, in this shock, Jacob attacked him. He pushed him against the wall and pulled out his spinal cord with his hand, killing him instantly. On the other side, the sheriff was suspicious that Jacob was responsible for the murders. He went back to the owner of the festival. The owner said, "I told you he was injured, and I sent him home to rest." While they were talking, a police officer arrived and told the sheriff that another one of Mike's friends had been killed. When the sheriff went to the scene, he also found corn candy there. Now, the sheriff's suspicions were confirmed. He went to Jacob's house but didn't find him there. When he looked under the bed, he found a strange dead body. It was an old corpse, the body of Jacob's mother. However, this corpse had no connection to the other murders. The sheriff then went on a search for Jacob. He warned his son, Mike, to stay at home and not go outside because his life was in danger. The sheriff stopped all festivals, carnivals, and events in the city. He asked everyone to stay in their homes. Hearing this, people became angry. The staff working for the festival owner became aggressive, accusing him, "You're hiding something from us. This is happening because of you. How will we earn a living?" One of the men, named Bishop, approached the owner and said, "Whatever you're doing, is it right? Whatever you say, I'll believe you." The owner replied, "Yes, I'm doing the right thing. People like us, the average people, are always being tortured. The rich, like Mike, used to torture us. They are habitual in teasing and hurting others. Actually, Mike and his friends killed Jacob. I only revived him so that he could take revenge for his murder. So, tell me, is it wrong?" The truth came out in front of the staff members, and they agreed to support the owner because he was speaking the truth. "We have to take steps against people who torture others," they said. Then we see Mike's female friend and her best friend in a place. The girl went inside for a while, and when she came back outside, she saw her friend's dead body. She couldn't understand what was happening. Meanwhile, Jacob followed her and pulled out her tongue, killing her instantly. At that moment, the sheriff arrived at the place where the girl and her friend had been. When he went inside, he saw their dead bodies and understood everything. He called his son Mike and told him, "All your friends are dead. Don't leave the house. Stay inside because Jacob will come to kill you next." But Mike, angry, left his house and went to the carnival to confront the owner and ask what the problem was. However, one of the owner's men knocked him unconscious. When the sheriff returned home to look for his son, he couldn't find him. He saw the festival owner there, pointing a gun at him. The sheriff demanded, "Where is my son?" But Bishop came from behind and knocked him unconscious. Then, the owner separated the sheriff's head from his body with a knife, killing him. Now we see Mike, who woke up tied to a chair. No one was around, and he was helpless. Then, he saw the sheriff's car approaching from a distance. Seeing his father's car, he felt a sense of relief, thinking his father had come to save him. But he was mistaken. His father wasn't in the car. His father's severed head was on top of it. Mike began crying when he saw his father's head, realizing that he too would soon be killed. Everyone else was dead. No one was left. Then Jacob appeared in front of him. After torturing him, Jacob killed him. He separated Mike's arms from his body and pulled out his teeth one by one. In this way, he killed him slowly through torture. The scene changes, and we see the festival owner, who was now running his festival in another city. He gave a girl a necklace made from Mike's teeth and was telling her about Jacob. The girl said, "I don't believe this. How did he come back to life? And how did he kill those people?" The owner explained, "Some people take others' lives for no reason. To teach them a lesson, Jacob was revived. In the last scene of the movie, we see Jacob sitting in his house, wearing that mask and eating his favorite corn candy. With that, the movie ends. Thank you for watching.